There's a version of you who never sleeps in, never skips training, never wastes time. There's a version of you who always takes action, who never fails, and he is waiting for you. Just imagine if, like, for the past 2 years, you never skipped training, you never slept in, you never scrolled on TikTok, you never watched porn, you never allowed yourself to be distracted by video games or YouTube drama. Just imagine the type of man that you would be. Imagine what you would look like. Imagine where you would live. Imagine the car you would drive. Imagine how much your woman would respect you. Imagine how proud you would be when you looked in the mirror and saw that you would become the man that you wanted to become. The truth is that you can reinvent yourself and become the best, most successful, most driven version of yourself. And the only one thing that can stop you is your own laziness. Most of the men that you see around you hate themselves. They hate their body, they hate their habits, they hate their life. But they can't do anything to change. They don't want to wake up and scroll on their phone immediately. They don't want to feel ashamed when they look in the mirror. They don't want to have nothing in life to look forward to besides video games, junk food, and drinking on the weekend. That's the reason why they all say that, oh, I'll start going to the gym on Monday. Or they'll do the work that they've been procrastinating for weeks. Or they'll make an academic comeback. Very few men are happy with that life. Most men want to change and become better, but they're stuck in a destructive loop of doing the same bad habits over and over and over again, even though it's causing them to become miserable. But you're made for more than that. You're on this earth for a reason, to fulfill a mission, to achieve ambitious goals, and to become the best version of yourself and live a meaningful life where you're proud of yourself. But if you want to become great and achieve impossible goals, you must reinvent yourself. The truth is that you will never achieve ambitious goals, you will never build a muscular body, you will never become rich if you remain weak, lazy, and addicted to your bad habits. Through years of laziness, bad decisions, and choosing comfort, you've created this weak version of yourself that's destroying any chance of you achieving the goals that you want to. But the good news is that you can reinvent yourself to become driven, disciplined, and dangerous, as long as you follow this video exactly and actually do the actionable advice that I describe. By doing that, you will make it 10 times easier to achieve your goals and become a man that you want to become. Now, life is not about finding yourself. A lot of people will go around trying to find themselves through traveling, partying, or sleeping around. But they'll never actually be able to do that. Because life is not about finding yourself. Instead, life is about creating yourself. Whatever life you want, whoever you want to become, where you want to live, the car you want to drive, you don't get it by accident. You don't just wake up and have it. You need to create that life intentionally. Most men are living a life they hate because they go through life doing things every day that deep down they don't want to do, but they're just addicted to doing it because it's the easy, comfortable thing. Deep down, most men have this vision of themselves inside their head of being the hero of their story, of being jacked as fuck, of being smart, wealthy, living a life they love, where they go on adventures and they get the pretty girl. Basically where they're Batman, they're the best versions of themselves, physically, spiritually, emotionally. They've got the wealth, the looks, the skills no other man has. So most men, they have that vision of themselves inside their own head. They don't want to wake up and immediately reach for their phone and scroll on social media. They don't want to be addicted to watching porn. They don't want to always skip the gym and not exercise. They don't want to have to eat McDonald's or smoke weed or do any of the stuff that they know deep down is just ruining themselves and making them miserable. They don't want to do that, but they're just addicted because it's the easy thing to do. It's the comfortable option. But all that leads to is them living a life they hate, where they're fat, ugly, depressed, they're unhealthy, and they're either single forever or they're with a woman that they're not even that attracted to. The reason why they're depressed and they hate their life is because there's such a difference between where they are now and where they want to be. The easiest way to reinvent yourself, to stop doing bad habits and start doing the good habits that will allow you to become the best version of yourself, is to deliberately create a new identity. Sit down and try to figure out, what does the best version of yourself look like? What does he do every day? What are the habits he does? What time does he wake up? What's his lifestyle? What are the things that he never allows himself to do? Once you figure out who you want to be and what you need to do in order to become him, It's so easy to actually become that. It's so easy to make that your reality. For example, a few years ago when I was skinny fat and I hated my body, I wanted to be jacked and have an aesthetic physique and look like Alex Eubank or Brad Pitt in Troy. And then I figured out the way that I become that is I needed to work out 6 times a week, I needed to train hard, I needed to bulk up, eat in a healthy, natural surplus, lean bulking up, and I needed to just train hard and focus on developing a V-taper and the aesthetic muscles. And because of that, I was able to build a muscular aesthetic physique that I'm proud of every time I look in the mirror. I knew that I wanted to also improve my attractiveness, so I decided to start taking better care of my hygiene, to grow my hair out to look more like Alex Eubank or Brad Pitt, and I wanted to grow out a short beard that just looked trimmed. I figured out what I wanted to be, what I wanted to look like, and then it was easy to just work out the logical steps I just needed to do every day or every week in order to make that a reality. The beautiful thing about being a man is that even though we're born with no inherent value, like we're born with nothing, when you're 18, unless you put in the work, you're nothing. If you want to be important, to live a meaningful life, to do important things, you must put in the work and build yourself up. However, exactly like in a video game, you can create your character to be whatever you want. If you want to be a lean, mean MMA fighter with long hair, you can make that a reality. If you want to be a bulky bodybuilder with a shaved head and big beard and look fucking scary like a gangster, you can make that your reality. If you want to look like an aesthetic TikToker with fluffy hair and a lean aesthetic physique, you can make that a reality. You can become anything you want as long as you know what you want and you put in the work to actually make it real. Now, I know that after I said that you can become whatever you want, your mind instantly comes up with excuses like, oh, I can't become jacked because I have terrible genetics, I'm skinny. I can't be an MMA fighter because I'm too short. I can't go to the gym because I'm not motivated and I don't have the time. I can't start posting on YouTube because I haven't done the things that I want to talk about yet. I haven't built my dream 10 out of 10 physique yet, so I can't make gym videos or whatever. Those are all limiting beliefs because your own brain doesn't think that you can do those things because you haven't done them yet. And it's giving you excuses so that you can feel okay with yourself by just choosing the comfortable option and not going outside your comfort zone. But deep down, you know those limiting beliefs are just destroying you. Because you know deep down that what you want to do. And that's the reason why you keep saying, oh, I want to build an aesthetic physique, but I'll start on Monday. Or I want to be a YouTuber and actually make money, build a business, build an audience, speaking about the things that I want to speak about. But I'll start working on that video tomorrow. And then it just keeps on getting pushed on and on and on, further and further into the future until it's too late and you just quit and you just never do it. So what you need to do is just stop trying to negotiate with your own brain. Your brain is used to you being at this level where you're low, where you're scrolling for hours, you're jacking off every day. It's not used to you wanting to be at the higher level where you're training at the gym, where you're waking up earlier, you're not sleeping in, you're not being lazy. So of course it doesn't believe that you can make that jump there. And the only way you can do that, you can break that limiting belief, where you can basically convince your own brain to go from this level where it sees you to this, is actually just doing the work and sticking with it. The only way you can break that limiting belief is actually through action. Like, you will doubt if you can do it. You will doubt if you can go to the gym consistently and build muscle your body if you've never been able to be consistent in the gym before. You will doubt if you can build a business if you've never made money online. You will doubt if you can improve yourself if you've always been at this level for years now. But doubt is only removed by action. If you're not putting in the work, if you're not actually trying to achieve it, of course you're not going to believe that you can do it. Of course you're going to believe that you'll fail, that you'll quit, that it's just impossible for someone like you, for someone in your situation to do it. But once you start putting the small actions and you get a little bit closer every day, you start getting you start getting stronger in the gym, start getting more views on your YouTube videos, then you start realizing oh shit, this might actually be possible and I might be able to do it. And let's say even worst case scenario, you don't reach that super high goal. You'll still be in a better position than if you never tried. than if you just said, oh no, be able to be consistent in the gym. I'll never build an impressive physique that I'm proud of, so I'm just not even gonna bother. Or I'll never be able to be successful on YouTube or whatever, so I'm not gonna even try post one video. In 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, all you will feel is that pain of regret, because deep down you fucking realize that you could have done it. There's a chance that you could have been successful and done this thing that you wanted so badly, and you just let that pass by, and now it's too late to do it. You cannot let that pain of regret ruin your life. The biggest pain you'll feel is that feeling of regret where you know, I could have done that, but I didn't. You're not going to be kept awake at night in a few years' time, a few decades' time, with the failures you've done, with the YouTube channel that you posted 100 videos to and you didn't really get anywhere. You're going to be kept awake at night by the feeling of, I could have been successful, but I didn't. That's what eats you up and ruins your life forever. One of the best parts of actually realizing what you want to become is you actually realize what habits and what things you need to do in order to get it. Most people just go through life just on autopilot. They wake up, go to school or go to work, come home, and then try relax. And that's it. That's their life for the next 30 years. And they wonder why their life passes so quickly. Of course, when you're just going through autopilot, where you're not doing anything, you're not challenging yourself, you're just doing the exact same thing every day, time will go faster. So if you don't put in the work to achieve your goals, you don't take the risks, you don't leave your comfort zone, you will die sooner because your life will just go by so quickly. You'll wake up in 40 years and realize, oh, I'm 60 years old and I didn't do anything. So if you don't want that to happen, you don't want your life to just go by because you're in your comfort zone for like 40 years of your life and suddenly you wake up and you're retired. What you need to do is figure out what the best version of yourself is. Figure out who you want to become. Figure out your goals and everything. That's amazing. Because most people don't even know what they want in life. They just go through it on autopilot. But then once you do that, start living like you've already become that best version of yourself. Train like you've already built the physique that you're proud of. Work like you've already built that business and you're the CEO and you're running a big business and you have people counting on you. Once you start working and acting like the best version of yourself, you'll become him. All you need to do is give yourself enough time and then it will happen. Because if you're training in the gym for 2 hours, pushing every set till failure, of course you're going to build your perfect muscular physique. All you need is enough time for you to actually create that physique. If you're working like 10 hours a day on your business, of course it's going to be successful. All you need to do is just have patience. So every time you want to skip the gym, you want to sleep in, you want to scroll on your phone, think about if your future self will be proud of yourself or hate you for the decision you make. I'm so grateful that the skinny version of me that I was a few years ago decided to go to the gym, train hard 6 days a week, so that I can now have a physique that I'm proud of, that every time I look in the mirror, I'm grateful for. When I look back at my younger self, I feel proud of the work that he did. So what you want to do is you want your future self to be proud of the work that you're doing. This is literally the core tenet of self-improvement, is delayed gratification. If you want to reinvent yourself, make delayed gratification one of your biggest priorities. So basically, instead of trying to maximize your happiness and your comfort today, try maximize your comfort for your future self. And the way you do that is by doing the hard work today so your future self can benefit. When you know what you want to become and you're willing to actually sacrifice your current happiness and your current comfort in order to make that a reality, it's 100% going to come true. There's no doubt about it. If you work hard in the gym, you will build your muscular physique. There has never been one person that went to the gym, worked hard, actually worked hard, went to failure, and given enough time didn't build a muscular physique. It's never happened. All you need to do is to know what you want, who you want to become, and then put in the work to actually achieve it and make it happen. Now, thank you for watching this video, and if you've learned how to reinvent yourself and become the best version of yourself, please like the video and subscribe to the Unlimited Power Self-Improvement channel. And I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.